Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Try Out Tuesday. Those of you that are joining me, thank you very much. So I did forget to put a post on today saying that I was doing Try Out Tuesday, but it is Tuesday and it is 8 o'clock. So, you know, to a certain extent, you know, the onus is on you, really. So tonight we're going to be doing some super quick journaling. Just like, you know, we've got 5 minutes. We want to do a page. It might take a little bit more than 5 minutes because obviously I'm going to waffle my way through it. But sorry about that. But it will be quite quick, so that's quite something to be excited. Are you all well? Are you having a fantabulous week? I do hope so. Hello, Alison. How are you, my darling? Oh, I couldn't find my own live then. That was a bit weird. That were a bit peculiar, I'm not going to lie. Okie dokie. Shazar! How are you, my love? Okay. Right, Lynn, Maxine. Hello, my darlings. Right, there's a little bit of a delay, but that's all right. Some days are just like that, aren't they? So, basically what I was saying was we have got a very big Tuesday next week, have we not? Those of you that haven't seen, what have you been doing? So we've got a new launch, new products coming next week. There is going to be quite a lot. It's a big launch, quite a comprehensive one, shall we say. So there's going to be lots of lovely new fabby things to see. And lots of lives throughout the day with me, Sam and Sally. So you'll want to be with us for that. So I thought this evening we'll do something just quick and easy, something quick to put together. Okay, see Alison, you see she's tempting you all there. You see she's already playing with the new goodies. I have to say they're rather fabulous, and for me it is really exciting when the creative team, as small and mighty as they are, get the products and they absolutely love them. That sort of really gives you a little touch of the feels. I'm not going to lie, makes me quite happy. But I don't think that's very surprising, is it? You know, it makes you happy when people like your things. Oh. Yeah, so hang on, I'm just going to share this live. If you're able to share, I would really, really appreciate it. If there's anyone that you know that's normally here, and they're not, give them a tag, because obviously Facebook doesn't always tell people when we're here, because, you know, it just likes us to work even harder than small businesses should really have to already. Alrighty. My little notebook, one of the many little notebooks that Sam has forced me, bent my arm backwards and everything, it was horrific, to buy whilst in her presence. Okay, it's a little notebook. I got it the same day I got my bigger one with the lines on it. I think I got it from TK Maxx. Okay, and it's really sort of fun. You'll have seen me working this before. I've done some reels doing these. Okay, so I've got the mushrooms there, the big bee, rainbow birds, bees, sketchy flowers. Okay, and what's lovely about this book is it is small. Okay, and you know me, I like to show you that art journaling isn't just if you can afford the fancy schmancy book, because if you can't afford the fancy schmancy book, or you've just got a limited budget and you sooner buy stamps with it, I'm totally on board with that. I couldn't agree more, in actual fact. You know, you can use mediums and layer up papers to weight up your pages. But, you know, for me, your stamps are very, very essential to get the results you want. You know, because you can mix and match them and do so many techniques with them. So for this page, I'm going to be using the big dragonfly from the Dragonfly set. I did colour that in and give it a little extra zhuzh with a white pen. Absolutely love it. Okay. And then I have got some scraps of catalyst papers. The ones they're from are not really relevant, to be honest, because basically I coloured in my Dragonfly to match my scraps. All right. So the colours of the paper are somewhat, whichever papers it was irrelevant, because what I would say is grab some scraps and then colour your image to go with. Yeah? Okay. So, for example, there is some new products coming which will work from both sides of this. Okay? Where you'll be able to build from the stamp side or build from the coloured in paper side. Alright? So, first things first, it's absolutely stupid saying. It's impossible to do the first thing. Some matte medium into our notebook. Yeah, so if you haven't started any art journaling, you haven't done any art journaling before, and you're like, oh, well, I don't have a book. Nope, that's not a good enough excuse. You're going to have to think of something else. Okay? Because it doesn't matter that you haven't got a book. You can use a notebook. And in fact, as a crafter, if you've done any craft at all, I know you've got a book. In fairness, for me, everybody's got a book. Even if it's a spiral bound book, an old like drawing book, a map book, a ledger book, anything, a dictionary. Start your art journaling in that. Okay? It will look fantastic, and you'll be so glad you started. So we're just going on with our catalyst papers here. So your catalyst papers are made, okay, and there are 4 different sets on the website, so you can go and check those out. Hello, Annie. Kids colouring book. Perfect. Okay, so you've got to have a book in your house. And you know something? See if you don't have a book. That's also fine. Grab a page, grab a leaflet, grab junk mail that's come through your letterbox, because we definitely all get that, and start on that. Okay? You can join it all together into a book later. I know it sounds extreme, but I'm really art journaling. I find, because those of you that have been here for a while will know my craft. Sorry, I've just seen a piece of book page on the floor and I'm going to grab it and put it in. Before art journaling, I was a scrapbooker. Bone book, great layering. Who uses one of them now? But I was very regimented in how I did craft. You know, everything was very symmetrical and orderly. And in fairness, I really enjoyed it. I didn't have an issue with it whilst I was doing it. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I liked it. But from the first time I saw Diane Reevely use them sprays, I was like, this is going to open me up creatively. You know, this is going to really free me up to be more creative. And that's what we're after. Okay, so you look at that now. So you've already got those papers on. So therefore, it doesn't matter how thick your starting paper was, because we've layered up some extra paper to give it that weight. Yeah? So therefore, I mean, I will say, I think this book was a couple of pounds at TK Maxx. It wasn't a lot at all. I will say, if I am feeling the pinch, I don't go anywhere with Sam. She makes you buy things. I've unplugged me heat tool. I wonder what else I've plugged in. I think it was my laptop charger. Okay. So I'm going to give that a waft. Okay, we are art journaling. We're art journaling at pace this evening. Yeah, because the thing is, Sam will say, oh, let's go book shopping. So we'll pop into TK Maxx or whatever. I keep using that as an example because it's right next to Home Bargains and Aldi. So that's where we're likely to go. Anywho. Right, so we'll go to... So we'll pop in. She'll search around for a bit and go, do you know what? No, I can't find what I want. And I'm walking towards the checkout with 8 books in my hand. Because she tells me to buy all the ones that she says aren't suitable. How does that work? I mean, just seems a little bit unfair to me. But whatevs. Right, I'm going to grab... I'm very into my greens and yellows this week. If you haven't seen the Bee Crafty deck card for this week, the theme is maps. So grab a map and rip a page out. And I've done a kingfisher. Lovely. Okay, so on top of here, I'm going to get some dilution spray. And we're going to just, we're not going to spray it. We're just going to go on from the tubey and add in some colour here. And then I'm going to get my cut grass. Again, the colours are somewhat irrelevant because I'm matching them up to the scraps of paper I had. Alright. Because even if you're like, yes, I like the dragonfly theme or what have you, but dragonflies in purples and pinks and stuff, obviously, very, very pretty. So you can see you can tap it on to get those. If you wanted to move it around a bit more, you could get your mini mister, give it a little spritzy spritz, absolutely beautiful. And then we're going to go back in with our heat gun. And I will say, when I'm drying with my heat tool, when it comes to things like this, I do tend to dry until I'm bored and then I'll mop up the excess. Okay? So if I'm creating puddles and it takes forever to dry, I will just heat it until I'm bored. And then I'll mop up puddles. You know, if I'm particularly attached to a particular puddle, or, for example, we'll tap it and make it run so we've got a lovely sort of drip effect and it thins out the puddle. So it works on many levels. Alright. I will say I do like to use my mini mister to move inks in this way rather than a sprayer or something with a bigger spray. Just the mini mister, because it gives it's that fine mist that just sort of moves it a little bit. You can always add more if you want it to travel further. So if you can be quite heavy-handed like I can, I think the mini mister just gives you a little bit more control about how much extra fluid you're adding, extra liquid you're adding on, that's all. Because I can be quite heavy-handed with sprays and things like that. So, okay, I'm going to add on some texture paste. I think I'm going to, do you know what, I'm going to get my stash of Dinkables out. Let's have a whiz through here. Okay, so let's look at the Dinkables. Here we go. I think... Right, so I keep all of my Dinkables. People are always asking about how to store things. I keep all of my Dinkables in a bulldog clip. And then I write the numbers on the top of each one. To be fair, I write the numbers on the top of each one for you more than me. Okay, so for example, when I'm doing a live or a demo or something like that, even if it's a reel, my thought is you can always pause it and see if you can see the number written on the top so you know which set it comes from. Okay, now obviously we've got the book text here, and this is more of a pen and ink style dragonfly. Okay, so what I'm going to do with that is pick a more doodly Dinkable, because it just creates that sort of juxtaposition that I like. Okay, so I'm going to go with the doodle crosses because, again, it goes with the sort of really organised geometric circles on the circles for circles here. Okay, so grit paste and palette knife. These are just cheapy palette knives. You can go for a more spangly one if you like. So I'm going to put that sort of just off. You can stick these down, obviously, if you want to be very, very precise. That sounds like a process that wouldn't really suit me. But like I said, I used to be. Now I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants sort of individual. Sounds more fun. So with my Dinkable there, so I'll scrape off all the excess I can back into my grit paste pot. Save as much of it as possible. And then I sort of dunk my Dinkable straight in the water. And I'll turn it upside down and dunk it again. Okay? I'm not going to pretend I do that all the time because you know I don't. And I would never fib to you. But, you know, if I think about it, I will. And I have my painted towel here. So if I'm being really good, I'll even do that. Take it out. Wipe the grit paste off. Good to go. And then it never gets to leave never leaves the craft room, and then I don't spend months looking for it and it's actually on the kitchen windowsill. Alright. I feel like I'm oversharing now. But that's okay. Right, so Tim Holtz Distress Grit Paste. We can also give a quick waft with our heat tool. So we're going to do that. I love this Dinkable. I think it creates such a nice thing for blending through as well with your distress ink. Your distress ink even probably more than your oxide. Because of the loose doodly way it's done, I think if you go through with your distress ink, it can almost give you a look like it's been done with a pen. And if you're not confident doing freehand work, it can still give you that sort of look. Alrighty, so, and then we're going to get our Dragonfly and some more matte medium, and he is just going to go on a lovely sort of jaunty angle right about there. And Sam did ask if I was going to give you any sneak peeks for next week, and I have decided definitely on one. Okay, so if I can remember where I've put it. I actually had them. Okay, and this is from the new wordy stickers that will be coming next week. Okay. And I'm going to go with one of the black ones. So this is going to be wordy stickers set 3. So there's going to be a 3 and a 3B, obviously. And I'm not going to show you them all. So, I'm going to go with Stay Wild and Free. Okay. So as I always advise with your wordy stickers, okay, apply a little bit of matte medium or your favourite adhesives to the back. It doesn't really matter. It just gives it a bit of extra stick. And then I'm just going to push it down from the front. Obviously, I'm going on a textured surface as well, so that's why I would definitely do it on this situation. Do that there. Okay, and then do I want to add more? Do I want to add more? Nah, I think he's done. Okay, so that is your Dragonfly. Okay, and you can see just how quick it is. Just to get yourself, you know, if you're struggling, if, for example, say you've bought yourself a book, but you're looking at the pages and nothing's coming. scale down, because this is the biggest stamp on that Dragonfly set, but it'll still fit on this small, what is it, 4x4 maybe? You see what I mean? It might be smaller. Okay, don't think, well, I've got bigger stamps, it has to be a big book, because I actually like to swap that over and use small stamps on a big book and whatever. So if you're finding you have got yourself a book and you're finding it a little bit too overwhelming to start, get yourself something smaller, or even just cut yourself down some card. You know, you can join them all on a book ring later or something. Or a really good thing to do would be to join in with the Bee Crafty deck. It's like art journaling, but that big. And it's really, really good fun. Okay. All right, guys. Is there anything else? What time is it? 8:21. Thanking you. Thanking you, please. Is there anything else you would like to see from me this evening? Speak up. Let me know. I will say, for anyone who is listening right now and they can hear the sound of my voice, if you would like, because you are good people and you're here, do make sure you are registered / signed up to the Bee Crafty newsletter, okay? Because what I'm going to do, and you can't tell anyone else, what I'm going to do is on Monday of next week, or the launch is on Tuesday. On Monday, the subscribers are going to get first notice of when the new products go live. Okay? I'll be going all through them on Tuesday, obviously. The live start at 12. But you will get first notice of as soon as they go live on the website. Okay? So make sure you are signed up. Alright? So, with that in mind then, these little quick spectacular pages I've been showing you, and we've talked about the Bee Crafty deck. The challenge, Sally's challenge in the Bee Crafty Stamps group this month is show us your stamping. So that means if you have made a Bee Crafty deck, you could quickly make a journal page, even if it's just on a piece of loose card, okay? There is no other specification apart from Bee Crafty stamping, okay? So that's what you're challenged to do. Before the launch next week, everybody has to get at least one entry, at least, you're allowed up to 3, so at least one entry into Sally's challenge in the Bee Crafty Stamps group, because we don't want her to get sad because no one's doing them, because then she'll stop doing them, and then you won't get a chance, which means you won't get a Mojo Bee Crafty newsletter that you were emailed yesterday, because there is a discount code on that for this week, and a little bit of crafty inspiration to get your Mojo started as well. All right then, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.